Welcome to this edition of Buncombe Live. I think we've got a good show for you. You're going to meet your three newest Buncombe County Commissioners. First, we're going to meet District 1, and your newest representative from District 1 is Jasmine Beach-Ferrara. She's probably one of the most compassionate people I know, and she's going to tell you what's on her heart and what she looks forward to in the next few years as your commissioner. I'm here with Jasmine Beach-Ferrara, who is a brand new commissioner, brand new. And I've got some questions for you. It's kind of like we've talked with some other commissioners and we've done this before, but we want to get to know you a little bit. First thing I got to know is, are you a native to Buncombe County? Are you from here?
I'm not. I actually, I grew up in Chapel Hill.
Yeah.
My mom still lives there, and I first moved to Asheville in 2002.
Oh, okay. So you're pretty new. Not really anymore. 2002's been a while.
15 years, yeah. We went away for a couple years for grad school, but basically this has been home since 2002.
Yeah. So what in the world made you want to get involved in politics here in Buncombe County?
Well, I've loved politics for as long as I can remember, and it's always felt like a way to be of service in the community and to help be involved with how policy gets set, which impacts people's lives. This was my first time running for office versus working on other people's campaigns, so that was obviously a new and different step.
So you have worked on other people's campaigns, you say?
Yeah, from the time I was actually growing up, my mom used to volunteer with the Orange County Democratic Party, and she was a single mom, so where she went, I went. So,
so
putting in yard signs and stuffing envelopes and and then through certainly here in Buncombe County on working on local elections up through federal races.
So from working on campaigns to jumping in now and being behind the desk instead of in front of it, what's been the biggest surprise to you?
Well, I mean, I'm just loving the experience, pretty much every dimension of the experience. The most wonderful part is just getting to meet so many more people in the community and getting to learn and understand so much more about what makes our county work. You know, as a community member, you participate in things and you see things from one perspective. As a commissioner, you're getting to see behind the scenes a lot more and hear directly from people who are impacted by issues or who are doing things like running a fire department or running health and human services, and just putting all those pieces together, it feels like the most interesting and challenging, engaging part of this.
If you can tell, we've kind of changed our location here. The water and the sprinklers had came on, so we had to move. We are, of course, downtown Asheville in Splashville. We were out in front of Splashville, just in case you couldn't tell. So we kind of made a little move here. But after our move, I want to ask you, so what surprised you? What one thing maybe has surprised you at being part of the commission?
Well, one thing I'm just really pleased about is that as a bipartisan commission, we are finding ways to really work together to serve our community. It didn't surprise me because of the people involved. I have a lot of respect for the people involved, but just where we are as a country right now, we're not seeing a lot of that. And I think everyone on commission is really motivated to come together to say, how can we be of the most service to the people of Buncombe County right now?
And that makes me proud, because that's part of our history here, is we've always, even when they couldn't get along, they worked together to get through it. And you're right, it doesn't reflect our country, but it does reflect our community.
Yeah.
And that's definitely something.
Yeah, and I'm very proud to be part of that, and I think we're all really motivated to keep doing that.
That's right. So in being able to work together, what do you want to see? What's something you want to see achieved in your, because you've got 4 years.
Yeah,
so
it's a 4-year term, and I'm really focusing in on issues that impact kids in Buncombe County. I think that's something that everyone cares about. And at the same time, we know that 1 in 4 kids in Buncombe County are living in poverty right now, which are rates that we see in a lot of other communities, but that we need to find new ways to approach that. So one thing I'm very excited about is looking at ways we can expand access to early childhood education, and especially expand access to pre-K, which is a proven, tested way to help kids who are living in poverty thrive while they're in school, but also throughout their whole lives.
And kind of get that jump start.
Absolutely, and just get kind of surrounded by teachers who understand what's going on with a 4-year-old's body and brain and how to help set them up for what will happen in elementary school.
Yeah. So I know that was one of the things that you were concerned about. Is there anything else that you want to see, like as you look forward to the end of your 4 years, the first term, when you say, okay, I achieved that, that's good?
Yeah. Well, one thing, it's less a specific policy and more about how can we help more people feel a direct connection to their county government. You know, a lot of times people are very aware of what's happening on the federal and state level and on the city level, but less aware on the county level. And that's one thing that Commissioner Whitesides and I are doing these coffee hours around town just to listen to folks and to say, we represent you, and here's the ways county services touch your lives. What matters most to you, and what do you want and need? So if in 4 years' time we see that people feel a greater sense of connection to the county, and I've been able to help contribute to that, that's something I'd be very proud of.
So you didn't grow up here, you
Yeah.
came here, but what is it that you do? We know you're kind of commissioner, but
Yeah.
what do you do as your job?
My day job?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is your real job.
I'm a minister in the United Church of Christ, and my ministry is actually, it's called community ministry. I direct a nonprofit called the Campaign for Southern Equality, and we're based here in Asheville, but we work across the entire South, calling for the equality of LGBT people under the law, and also looking to start new conversations in places like Mississippi and Alabama and across the Carolinas about the experience of LGBT people in the South and the ways that we can keep moving forward to make sure everyone's treated equally.
Are you seeing that improve at all?
Well, we're
Because
seeing
that conversation has certainly come to the surface.
Yeah.
Around here, we're used to it, but in other
Yeah.
places it hasn't. But lately it has. Are you seeing that?
Yeah. We absolutely are seeing it help, and at the same time we're seeing that there continues to be discrimination in the law targeting LGBT people. So both things are true at once. But what I experience when I travel around the South, and a lot of our work happens in churches and over kitchen table conversations, is you know, the LGBT people live in every town in the South, literally. And oftentimes I've lived in the shadows, and as people are more open about who they are and who their family is, it creates new opportunities for conversation. And that sometimes when we can cut through the fog of the politics of it, and oftentimes it's pastors kind of lobbing scripture back and forth at each other, and just get people talking to each other, that new possibilities do open up, and we do see support growing.
Yeah, that's a very encouraging thing, and I think very encouraging for our area to be an example
Yeah.
for how to do that right.
Yeah, I mean, Asheville and Buncombe County is one of the places in the South where, you know, there's been an LGBT community that's been very visible here for a long time, and policies that have emerged to support the community and treat people equally, and I think it's a model in the South.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Now let's meet another commissioner from District 1. He's also new, Al Whitesides. He's been around a long time, a native of this area. A lot of folks know him, but if you don't, you need to meet him. So sit back, let's go meet him. You are known throughout the community. There's still a lot of people that don't know who Al Whitesides is, and I think they need to know. So that's why we're here today. One thing, are you a native of Buncombe County?
Sure am. I was born and raised here.
Oh, yeah, so you are, that's an oddity now.
Yeah, that's
To have
right.
to find somebody that's a native here,
You're right.
and then to have them in elected office. Is
Yeah.
this your first elected office, serving
Sure
as
is.
commissioner?
I never wanted to be in politics. But I think how it happened was, after a while, you know, I retired completely in December 31st of 10. So, you know, you get frustrated, you're watching what's going on politically, and you say, the heck with it, I can do that, I bet. So, you know, and for me, I'm not using the commission as a stepping stone to anything. It's a way for me to give back to the community. And I think it's been good to me and my family over the years.
That's
So,
right.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is what makes the best public servant, is somebody who it loves here or is from here, and if you're both, that's great. And then is not looking to go somewhere else. You're looking to serve the community that you're in.
Oh yeah, that's it for me. Yeah.
So what's been the biggest surprise?
Probably the biggest surprise for me, coming from banking, especially 40 years in that, and as a citizen, and coming to public life, is it's different as night and day But then in a lot of ways it's the same. Because in banking, I had to work with people. That was it. And it's the same thing I find in the political arena. And what I think my background has helped me, because I don't get wound up in parties or whatever. I'm just concerned about the right issues for the community and what I can do to help. Now, I will admit, I'm a lifelong Democrat, and I don't apologize for that. But when it comes to that, I have a moral compass that I stick to, and I like people, and I want to help people.
Right.
And, when I help, if somebody calls me, I don't ask them what district do they live in, or I don't even ask the political party. I could care less. In that instance, what can I do to help them as a commissioner?
Right. And I know one thing, you are representing District 1, which is
Right.
for the city of Asheville.
Right.
You and Jasmine, who is the other commissioner representing
Right.
District 1. Y'all have done one Coffee with Commissioners, getting ready to do another one. I'm
Right.
sure you'll do more. That's a listening session.
Right.
And that's what y'all are. I think that's one of the newest things that's come with this new group of commissioners is that just to listen to what does the community say. I think that's neat.
Well, here again, it goes back to my banking experience. Why I think I was successful able to do that is I had to learn early on to listen. Because you had to listen to customers to know what they needed, what they wanted, in some cases why you didn't want to work with them too.
Yeah.
But the key was you can't do all the talking. You've got to listen. And that's important in this job, to know what the community wants. It's not always what Al Whitesides wants. It's what, I've got to make balance that with the bottom line is what the community wants and what's best for them.
Right. And I know you've just come into this job just in December, but as you look forward, what is some things that you think you might want to work on as your time as a commissioner?
What I want to work on is everything that makes this community a better place for all of us to live. Whether it's one is affordable housing, which is important. We've gotten to the point now where a lot of people who work in Asheville and Buncombe County can't afford to live here because of the escalating costs of housing. The other is education. It's just critical that we keep strong public schools. We're fortunate. We have two good systems, but we can't let them go backwards. And the community college as well as UNC Asheville, we're fortunate there. But we've got to make sure that we give it the support because it's through education that's the future of our community, and to make sure that we have a job force that's trained when we go out recruiting different industries to come to Asheville.
And you got to keep on that. You can't stop.
You can't let it go. Another issue, and here again, back to making it a better place to live, is child care. We're doing some things recently, I know as commissioners, to help that. But child care is important to so many people. And I saw when I was working, we lost a lot of good employees because if they had two small kids, it was cheaper to stay at home if both parents were working.
Right.
Than for one to stay at home than to pay child care, or in some instances they can't find it. They can't find the child care. They don't have the slots.
That's right. Well, now you have supported education a long time. We're sitting here on the campus of UNCA outside a building there that's got your name on it. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, that was a surprise to me, to be honest with you. And even today when I walk up to the building, I came along at a time when they named the buildings after people that were no longer around. But UNC Asheville has changed because you've got Whitesides Hall, you've got Zeiss Hall, you've got the Sherrill Center, Brown Hall. These are all people I know and know well, friends of mine. So that's different. But back, when was it? A year or so ago, the chancellor and the chair of the board, who both I know well, called and invited me to lunch. So, I did. And we got to lunch and we started talking. And, Chancellor Grant asked me, Mary said, Al, how would you feel if we named the building after you? So, normally nothing surprises me. And first I said, I didn't think it was serious. I said, okay, come on, let's be serious. Well, it seems that the students push this. because they were complaining, one, about not having a building on campus named after an African American. They went to the Board of Trustees. Well, the trustees asked them, okay, we'll have to see who was up to that. They said, oh, no, we know. We want somebody who's alive, who we can talk to, who's talked to students. And they threw my name on the table. I didn't, and which was a surprise to me. It really was, But even today, when I come around Whitesides Hall or walk past it, I guess I'm from the old school in that respect. You feel sort of awkward. You wonder, I'm still here. I see it. But it's been an honor.
I would say. Quite an honor. And the way you got it, I think is quite an honor. So looking forward, let's say 5 years for the county. Is there any one big thing that you think you'd like to see done in the next 5 years that you could be a part of?
Well, it's two things. Well, it's three, really. Education, to continue what we've started, to work with Buncombe Tech, the community college, to make sure that we are giving the community there what we need. Work with UNCA as well as K through 12. We're responsible for child care and affordable housing. But unfortunately, all these are not things you can completely finish in 5 years.
That's right.
But we've got to start, continue where we are. And I think that's, critical. And the criminal justice system, too. I can't leave that out because we have started some initiatives there, and the sheriff has done a lot of good with programs at the jail and all. We're on the cutting edge when it comes to that in Buncombe County, and we need to keep things up. I'd say I'm fortunate to follow that we have, well, two things. We have a good staff in place. That says everything. And I think the other part of it is that we've had former commissions that have done a good job of looking ahead to the future. And that's something that we've got to keep up.
That's right.
We've got to keep pushing the ball even, out there. We got to keep doing innovative things.
Not be happy where we are. We
no,
still got to
we
keep
can't
looking.
be happy. And that's up to the community. And one thing, too, that we've got to do, and I think that started, too, is to make sure, that we continue to be the place that everybody wants to live in. But in doing that, you got a plan for it. You can't go by the seat of your pants, because if not, growth will overtake us, and we'll have another Charlotte, Atlanta, communities like that.
That's right.
But I think when you look at the mountains, and where we are, I think that's critical, that we do the planning. And that's what I think I like about our former commissioners, the way we've done the farmland, taking care of the mountains, and all that. That's all part of it.
They were all looking forward.
And that's what, as a commission, we've got to do. And the only way to do that, we've got to work together and listen to the people.
That's right.
That's it.
Secret of public service.
Yeah.
Thank you, Al.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Kathy.
I hope you enjoyed meeting them. I thought they're just we just have so many good commissioners now. But now we're going to go meet our final newest commissioner from District 3, and that's Robert Pressley. A lot of folks know him from the NASCAR circuit. He used to be a racer, and he's going to talk about that. Found it very interesting. So come on with us. So I'm here with Robert Pressley, who, what district do you represent here?
District 3.
District 3. So for folks that don't know, you're a new commissioner. Are you a native of Buncombe County?
District I represent is where I grew up at, and I know, I know 100% of the people that's lived there over 40 years, and I know a lot of the new people.
That is a great point right there. So you grew up here. Have you ever served in elected office before?
No government.
No government, right.
Just a lot of things with NASCAR. Was on boards of directors with them, competition, Hall of Fame board, and the appeals board. So been through a lot of the politics but on a different end.
On a different end, that's right. So before we get into that, and I know they'll want to hear about it, I want to ask you, what made you run for elected office here? What made you change your mind to jump in?
Whenever I had my first granddaughter, I was at the hospital, and I was talking to a couple guys, and they were saying, you know, Robert, you've been around here. Asheville's changing. We need to have someone that's been here their whole life that knows the history of it. And I said, no, I don't think I'm the person you need. Well, then I got interested going up to the chambers, watching, you know, some of the commissioners meet. And it really puzzled me of what was going on. I said, you know, I could make a difference in this.
That's right. And being from here, have a sense of community and what it's all about.
Yeah, you know, the people that's been here 40, 50, 60 years have an opinion of what needs to go on. And the new people, you know, they have an opinion of what's going on. And I think where I can come in best is I've been all over the United States racing, so I've seen towns that grow through the years, and I've seen some that are so big, and we got to take care of everybody.
Folks at home want to know, you are the Robert Pressley, that's the racing Robert Pressley. That when people heard that Robert Pressley was running for commissioner, this was the one thing I heard. Is that the one that was the race car driver? Yes, that's the race car driver. So explain, and where are we? We're down here at Carrier Park. That used to be where you would race, and he was giving me some great history before we got started. Give me a little bit of that history. You are the NASCAR Robert Pressley.
And that was the biggest thing while I was campaigning was people, Robert, are you the one running for county commissioner? What has happened to you? And I had the perfect excuse, you know, for running, is I've hit my head so many times on these walls that I have a reason. But no, you know, it goes back that I care about this. I love Asheville. I love Buncombe County.
Yeah, and I'm glad you're here. But give us a little bit of history of, and I hate to say it, but I grew up less than a mile from this track. I have no idea what went on down here other than it was noisy every Friday night. So what is the history here? Because behind us here is a memorial that you're on, your dad is on, and you just told me that Richard Petty actually drove here.
Yeah.
So what's the history, a little bit of history of this track?
Well, the history, I was born in 1959, so I'm 58 years old. I grew up here. My dad won his first championship in '65 here.
Yeah, and that's a championship, a NASCAR race. Like he won a NASCAR race?
He won the season long and the championship for this particular racetrack, plus other racetracks.
Yeah.
So I was a year old when I come to my first race here. This racetrack opened in 1960.
Wow.
And I was here probably in a car seat or playing in the dirt or something. But this was our life, and you know, this was a NASCAR sanctioned racetrack till the day it closed. And the history, it takes us hours to talk about it, but you know, the Pressley family more or less run this. In the 40 years this racetrack was open, my dad won 7 championships, I won 4, my brother won 2.
Wow.
And you know, there's so much that I love about this place, and I hated to see it go.
Right.
But with Asheville growing the way it is, I understood, you know, they was. I wish we could have got another one somewhere else, but that's beside the point. And the whole thing in NASCAR is make the rules fair for everybody.
Right.
You know, competition end of it, the appeals board, is you got to just put aside what your feelings are. You've got to listen to the facts of what's going on. And I think that is going to be a great thing with me on the commissioner end of being able to talk to my other commissioners, the chairman, and saying, you know, let's think about this. What is best for Buncombe County?
Right. So what do you see in the next, what's one of the things that you want to see done in the next couple of years, next 5 years, that you want to be a part of?
I want to be a part of saying that while I'm in as a commissioner, I want them to say that we actually thought about everything that we're doing, that we didn't make a rash decision. What does Buncombe County need? What's a priority? And we know public safety is top of my list, along with education. Other things, we've got to do a lot, but let's look at priorities. That's the way I've always taught my kids. Through racing is, okay, where are we going to win a race at? That's where we would go out and do the best.
Oh yeah, that makes total sense. That's a lot about public service too, working together and then moving forward. What is something that you would want the folks at home to know about you?
Whenever I'm out in the public, people look at me as an ex-NASCAR driver and now commissioner. And you know, I had a guy, my grandfather told me one time, it don't matter who you are or what you done, everybody puts their their pets on the same way. And I just want to be remembered as, you know, he was one of the fairest people I ever knew.
Yeah, I think that's a great thing to be remembered as. So, is there anything else that you want the folks at home to know? If not, thank you, Robert, for talking to us today.
Well, I appreciate it,
Yeah.
and this racetrack means a lot, and
Yeah.
I'm so glad Carrier Park come in and didn't destroy it and
Yeah.
used what they could here. So
Yeah,
I'm very happy to be here with you.
very good, thanks. I hope you enjoyed meeting your new commissioners. They are a great, great bunch of folks. I have to say, the voters of Buncombe County never disappoint, and you didn't again. These guys are great, and if you ever need to get in touch with them, we'll put that information for you on the screen so you can actually come and have a sit down and meet these people one-on-one, because just like you, they're part of Buncombe County. So, till next time.